Ladies and gentlemen, success is not a game of luck. It's not reserved for the privileged few. The truth is, 98% of people settle while only 2% break through. Why? Because success demands what most people are unwilling to give. It's not about intelligence, talent, or even opportunity. It's about the daily disciplines, the mindset, and the choices you make when no one is watching. Today, I'm going to share the hard truths that most ignore, the very truths that separate the top 2% from the rest of the crowd. Everyone pays a price. The question is, will you pay it up front through discipline, or will you pay it later through regret? The 2% understand this. They wake up earlier, push through discomfort, and do what needs to be done, not what they feel like doing. The successful never blame circumstances, the economy, or other people. They take full responsibility for where they are and where they're going. The 98%, they make excuses. But excuses don't move you forward. Only action does. Most people want success until it gets inconvenient. The top 2% are willing to make sacrifices. They read when others watch TV. They invest when others spend. They work when others sleep. Weakness is built in the small, repeated actions. The unsuccessful start strong, but quit when it gets tough. The 2%, they show up day in and day out without looking for instant results. They trust the process. Fear, doubt, and negative thinking destroy more dreams than failure ever will. The 2% have mastered their mindset. They feed their minds with empowering thoughts and push past limiting beliefs. Most people drift through life without a clear goal. The 2% have a vision so strong that nothing can shake them. They see success in their mind long before it becomes reality. The average person avoids failure at all costs. The successful embrace it, learn from it, and use it as fuel to keep moving forward. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. While others look for shortcuts, the 2% outwork and outlast the competition. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. Success is lonely because most won't understand your journey. The 2% are willing to lose approval in order to gain freedom. They surround themselves with winners, not complainers. The majority settle for good enough. The 2% refuse to stop growing, learning, and improving. They don't wait for success, they create it. Everyone pays a price. Life doesn't hand out free passes. You either pay the price of discipline or the price of regret. There's no escaping it. The difference is that discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's making that extra call, reading that extra page, putting in the work when no one is watching. It's saying no to distractions and yes to your future. And while discipline may feel uncomfortable in the moment, it builds something priceless. Character, confidence, and the kind of success that lasts. But regret? That's a different kind of weight. It sneaks up on you over time. It starts small, putting off that goal, making excuses, settling for less than you're capable of. One day turns into a week into a month, and before you know it, years have passed. And then, when it's too late, reality sets in. You look back, not at what you did, but at what you didn't do. The chances you didn't take, the dreams you let slip away, the person you could have become. You see, discipline requires effort, but regret carries a pain that never leaves. One lasts for a moment, the other for a lifetime. And the truth is, life will give you exactly what you ask of it. If you ask for comfort now, you will struggle later. But if you embrace the challenge today, you will enjoy the rewards tomorrow. So the question is simple. Which pain will you choose? Because one way or another, you will pay the price. If you want to change your life, there's only one place to start, taking full responsibility. Not partial, not when it's convenient, not when everything is going well, but 100% responsibility, no exceptions. The moment you decide that your success, your happiness, and your future are in your hands, everything changes. Because as long as you blame the economy, your upbringing, your boss, or your circumstances, you give away your power, you stay stuck. But the second you say, if it's to be, it's up to me, you take back control. Most people don't like this idea. It's easier to point fingers, to say, I would have succeeded, but the timing was bad. Or I could have done more, but I didn't get the support I needed. But life doesn't reward excuses. It rewards action. And the truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to do it for you. If you want more, you have to take ownership of everything, your habits, your mindset, your choices. Now, does that mean everything that happens is your fault? No. There will always be things outside your control, but how you respond, that's on you. You can dwell on what's unfair, or you can rise above it. You can let setbacks define you, or you can use them as fuel to grow stronger. The choice is yours. The successful don't wait for ideal conditions. They create them. They don't waste time complaining. They adjust and move forward. They don't see themselves as victims. They see themselves as the architects of their own destiny. So, if you're waiting for someone to hand you the life you want, stop waiting. If you're looking for someone to blame, look in the mirror, but not with guilt, with power. Because when you take full responsibility, you take full control. And when you take full control, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Success isn't about luck, talent, or even intelligence. It's about doing what most people won't. It's about stepping up when others step back, pushing forward when others quit, and making sacrifices that others aren't willing to make. Most people want success until it gets inconvenient. They want the rewards, but they don't want the effort. They want the spotlight, but they avoid the work. They say they want financial freedom, but they won't save, invest, or build something of their own. They say they want a better body, but they skip the workouts and make excuses. They say they want to grow, but they won't pick up a book or learn a new skill. But the few who rise above, the real winners, understand something powerful. Success comes to those who are willing to go the extra mile. It's waking up early to work on your dream while the world sleeps. It's making one more call when others stop. It's staying disciplined when distractions come knocking. It's doing today what others won't, so tomorrow you can live how others can't. The truth is, most people choose comfort over progress. They avoid discomfort, they wait for the right time, they look for shortcuts. But the ones who make it to the top don't wait for perfect conditions, they create them. They don't ask, do I feel like it? They ask, is it necessary? And here's what happens. Over time, the gap widens. The ones who did the work when no one was watching start pulling ahead. Their skills improve. Their confidence grows. Their opportunities multiply. And the ones who avoid the work, they wonder why they're stuck in the same place year after year. The difference isn't luck. It's not even opportunity. It's the willingness to do what others won't. The question is, are you willing? Because if you are, there's nothing stopping you from reaching the top. Success is not about massive action taken once in a while. It's about the small, disciplined actions repeated every single day. It's the little things done consistently that separate those who achieve their goals from those who merely wish for them. Most people start with enthusiasm. They begin a new goal, a new habit, a new dream, and for a while they're on fire. They go to the gym every day for a week. They read a book for a few days. They work hard for a short season. But then something happens. Life gets busy. Motivation fades. They miss one day, then another, and before they know it, they're back where they started. But the few who rise to the top understand a simple truth. Consistency, it's not about how hard you work once. It's about how long you can keep going. Success doesn't happen overnight, it happens over time. It's built in the quiet moments, when no one is watching, when there's no applause, no recognition, just you and your discipline. A small effort, repeated daily, compounds into something extraordinary. One workout won't change your body, but daily exercise over a year will. One investment won't make you rich, but consistent, smart decisions will create wealth. One day of studying won't make you an expert, but years of learning will turn you into a leader in your field. The problem is, most people give up before the results show up. They dig for gold, but they stop inches from striking it. They plant seeds, but don't water them long enough to see the harvest. The successful, they stay the course. They show up day after day, even when they don't feel like it. They trust the process, knowing that small steps taken consistently lead to massive results. So the question is, can you stay committed when no one is watching? Can you do the work even when the rewards aren't immediate? Because the magic isn't in doing something once, it's in doing it consistently until success becomes inevitable. Your mind is the control center of your life. Every decision, every action, every result, it all starts in your mind. The way you think determines the way you live. The problem is most people never learn to control their mind. Instead, their mind controls them. Doubt creeps in and they believe it. Fear whispers and they listen. Negative thoughts appear and they accept them as truth. They allow circumstances, other people's opinions, and past failures to dictate what they believe is possible. But here's the truth. If you don't take charge of your mind, life will do it for you, and life has a way of feeding you limitations, distractions, and excuses. The few who rise to the top, the ones who achieve what others only dream about, have learned a powerful skill. They guard their thoughts like a fortress. They don't allow negativity to take root. They don't entertain self-doubt. They recognize that every thought is either moving them closer to their goals or pulling them further away. It's not that successful people never experience fear or doubt. They do, but they refuse to let those thoughts control them. Instead of saying, I can't, they ask, how can I? Instead of focusing on problems, they look for solutions. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, they train their minds to see opportunity. And make no mistake, this takes practice. Just like you train your body in the gym, you must train your mind daily. What are you feeding it? Are you filling it with ideas that inspire growth, confidence, and action? Or are you letting it absorb negativity from the news, from toxic people, from your own doubts? The mind is like a garden. If you don't plant the right seeds, weeds will grow by default. You must be intentional. You must take control, because the moment you master your mind, you master your life. And when that happens, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Everything great that has ever been accomplished started with a vision. Not just a casual wish or a vague hope, but a crystal clear picture of what could be, something so real in the mind that it pulls a person forward even when obstacles appear. Most people never develop a vision. They drift through life reacting to circumstances, settling for whatever comes their way. They let the world decide their future instead of deciding it for themselves. And because they have no clear direction, they stay stuck, moving in circles instead of making real progress. But those who rise to the top, the ones who achieve extraordinary success, have something different. They see the future before it happens. They hold a vision so strong, so unshakable, that no amount of doubt, criticism, or temporary failure can shake them. They don't wait for permission to believe in their dream. They declare it, they commit to it, and they move toward it with unwavering focus. Now, a vision alone is not enough. Many people have dreams, but they stop at dreaming. What separates the successful from the rest is that they back their vision with relentless action. They write it down, they think about it daily, they speak about it with certainty, and they move toward it as if it were already real. They don't just hope. It becomes a mission. And here's the key. The world will test your vision. Life will throw distractions, delays, and disappointments your way. People will doubt you, tell you to be realistic, and ask why you're working so hard for something they can't see. But if your vision is strong enough, none of that matters. Because those who succeed don't need external validation. They already believe it's possible. So the question is, do you have a vision? Not just a wish, not just a passing thought, but a burning picture in your mind of where you're going. Can you see it so clearly that it excites you, fuels you, and pulls you forward no matter what comes your way? Because the truth is, without vision, you wander, but with an unshakable vision, you lead. And those who lead with vision create a future most people only dream about. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every great achievement, every remarkable success story is built on a foundation of setbacks, mistakes, and failures. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of failure, it's how they respond to it. Most people fear failure, they avoid risk, play it safe, and stay within their comfort zones because they don't want to face the sting of a setback. They see failure as proof that they're not good enough, that they should stop, that they should lower their expectations. And so they quit too soon. They turn back just before the breakthrough. They let one disappointment define their entire future. But the ones who rise above, the ones who achieve greatness, have a different mindset. They understand that failure isn't final and it isn't fatal. It's simply feedback. It's a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of growth. They don't let failure crush them. They use it to get better, stronger, and wiser. Think about it. Every skill you've ever learned required failure. When you learned to walk, you fell hundreds of times. When you learned to speak, you stumbled over words. When you learned anything new, mistakes were part of the process. And yet, somewhere along the way, people start believing that failure is something to avoid. But the truth is, failure is the price of admission for success. The most successful people in the world have failed more than the average person has even tried. They understand that the only way to truly fail is to give up. Every setback is an opportunity to adjust, to improve, to refine your approach. And if you're willing to embrace failure, not as something to fear, but as something to learn from, then success is inevitable. So the real question isn't, what if I fail? The real question is, what if I never try? Because failure isn't what stops most people. Fear of failure does. But if you have the strength to embrace it, to push through it, and to keep going despite it, then there's nothing that can stop you from reaching the top. Success doesn't come to those who wait, wish, or hope. It comes to those who work. Not just when they feel like it, not just when conditions are perfect, but every single day with relentless determination. Most people want success, but few are willing to pay the price. They start strong, full of excitement and energy, but when the hard work begins, when the long nights, early mornings, and sacrifices come, they hesitate. They slow down, they look for shortcuts. And then, when results don't show up overnight, they start making excuses. But those who truly succeed, they have something different. A work ethic so relentless that nothing can shake them. They show up early, stay late, and push harder than anyone else. They don't complain about how tough it is. They embrace the struggle because they know that's where the real growth happens. They don't wait for motivation. They create it through discipline. They understand that work is the bridge between where they are and where they want to be. And here's the truth. Life will test you. There will be days when you don't feel like putting in the effort, days when progress seems invisible, when doubt creeps in, when the dream feels too far away. But that's exactly when the relentless keep going. They push through fatigue. They work through obstacles. They do what others won't so they can have what others never will. Success is earned in the quiet hours of practice, in the moments when no one is watching, in the effort that goes unnoticed, and over time, the gap widens. Those who gave up wonder why they never made it. Those who kept going stand at the top, not because they were lucky, but because they refused to quit. So the question is, how hard are you willing to work? Because talent means nothing without effort. Potential is wasted without action. The ones who make it aren't always the smartest, the strongest, or the most gifted. They're the ones who simply refuse to stop. There comes a time when you have to make a decision. Follow the crowd or walk your own path. And if you want something extraordinary in life, if you want to break limits, achieve greatness, and live on your own terms, you must be willing to walk alone. Most people are afraid of that. They want approval, validation, a group to walk with. They hesitate to take a step unless someone else is taking it with them. But here's the truth. Greatness is rarely found in the comfort of the crowd. The biggest breakthroughs, the most incredible successes, the most life-changing transformations, they happen when a person has the courage to step away from what's familiar and choose a path few are willing to take. And make no mistake, walking alone isn't easy. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when you question yourself, when you wonder if you made the right choice. You'll hear voices telling you to play it safe, to stick with the familiar, to stop chasing something others can't see. Friends may not understand. Family may question you. The world may try to pull you back to where it's comfortable. But the few who rise above, the ones who build something truly remarkable, understand that solitude isn't a weakness. It's a strength. Because when you walk alone, you learn who you really are. You develop resilience. You build self-trust. You stop needing permission to chase your dreams. And here's the reward. The ones who walk alone today are the ones the world follows tomorrow. The dreamers, the pioneers, the ones who dared to break away, they are the ones who change industries, set new standards, and inspire generations. So, if you find yourself walking a lonely road towards something great, don't be discouraged. That's the price of leadership. That's the price of freedom. And in the end, it's far better to walk alone in the direction of your dreams than to stay with a crowd and go nowhere. There comes a moment in life when you have to decide, will you settle for what's easy, what's comfortable, what's average, or will you push for something greater? Most people settle, not because they have to, but because it's the easier choice. They settle for a job that pays the bills but doesn't fulfill them. They settle for relationships that don't inspire them. They settle for a routine that feels safe but keeps them stuck. And after a while, they convince themselves that this is just how life is supposed to be. But those who achieve extraordinary success, the ones who live with passion, purpose, and freedom, have made a different decision. They decided once and for all that they would never settle for less than they are capable of. They refused to accept mediocrity as their destiny. They committed to the idea that life is not about just getting by, but about growing, evolving, and reaching their full potential. And make no mistake, this decision comes with a price. It means stepping into discomfort. It means rejecting excuses. It means taking responsibility for where you are and where you want to go. It means being willing to say, this isn't enough. Not out of greed, but out of a deep understanding that you were meant for more. The truth is, life will give you exactly what you're willing to tolerate. If you tolerate average, you'll get average. If you tolerate excuses, you'll live with excuses. But the moment you decide, truly decide, that you will never settle, that you will demand more from yourself, push past limitations, and raise your standards, that's the moment everything changes. And here's what happens next. The world will try to pull you back. People will tell you to be realistic. They'll say you should just be grateful for what you have. But there's a difference between gratitude and settling. You can be thankful for what you have while still striving for more. That's not greed, that's growth. So if you want more success, more fulfillment, more impact, it starts with one decision. A decision to never settle. A decision to raise your standards, to refuse to accept less than your best, and to push forward no matter what. Because those who never settle are the ones who end up living the life that others only dream about. At some point in life, you have to make a choice. Do you settle for what's easy, what's comfortable, what's handed to you? Or do you demand more of yourself and refuse to accept anything less than your full potential? Most people settle not because they have to, but because it's the easier road. They settle for a job that pays the bills but doesn't inspire them. They settle for relationships that don't fulfill them. They settle for an average life, convincing themselves that this is just the way things are. And the danger in settling is that it happens quietly, one small compromise, then another, until one day they wake up and realize they're living far below what they once dreamed of. But those who achieve true success, the ones who live with passion, purpose, and fulfillment, make a different choice. They decide once and for all that they will not settle for anything less than they are capable of becoming. They refuse to accept mediocrity as their reality. They commit to growth, to challenge, to pushing past limitations, because they understand that life expands in direct proportion to their willingness to stretch beyond what's comfortable. And here's the truth. Making this decision isn't always easy. It means embracing discomfort. It means choosing discipline over convenience. It means being honest with yourself and saying, I can do more, I can be more. And that kind of honesty forces you to take responsibility, to look at where you are and admit that you are capable of greater things. The world will try to keep you where you are. Friends, family, society, they'll tell you to be realistic, to just be happy with what you have. But there's a difference between gratitude and settling. Gratitude means appreciating what you have while still striving for more. Settling means stopping when you know you have more to give. And here's the best part. The moment you decide to never settle, everything begins to shift. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop hoping life will change, and instead you start changing it yourself. You raise your standards. You demand more from yourself. You step into the kind of life that most people only dream about. So ask yourself, where have you been settling? And what would happen if you finally decided today that you will not settle anymore? Because the decision to never settle isn't just about success, it's about living a life that truly fulfills you.